Hello there, and welcome to another weekly edition of the Volleyball Coaches Show. I'm Jordan Bergeron with MuratAthletics.com. Alongside me, head coach Steven Gream. Coach, it's been a little while since we last talked. We've had 5 games since we last spoke. Let's start out last Tuesday against OBU, your first conference home opener. Let's go straight to the 5th set. Why not? It was a thrilling match. You went to the 5th set and we built a 10-7 lead, and we thought, well, maybe we secure it from there. OBU would come back to tie it 12-12, and then at 14-13, Hannah Rice's serve would go long, and OBU would steal the next 2 points. Can you talk a little bit about how much that stung to not pull away with the win?
Well, anytime we play OBU, it's going to be a dogfight. Because if you go back and look at the stats and everything, we've been so close the last few years. They're such a big defensive team. And to be up on a defensive team like that, 10-7, and then 14-13 serve for match point, and just to have the, to use a fishing term, let them wiggle off the hook a little bit. It hurt, especially when we was in that rut coming out of the Florida tournament. We thought we had a chance to pull that one out and give our kids a little more confidence coming out of that, especially coming out of that Florida tournament and everything. But a conference game that stings, because now you have one loss in the conference standings. Now you're trying to get ready for Harding and these other teams you're going to be coming up with. So it was stung, but our players need to learn to finish teams out.
Yeah, and then you went to the A&M Commerce tournament over the weekend, and the first game was no easy task. You faced ArkansasFort Smith, who was receiving votes in the D2 poll before the tournament started. They had a pretty good tandem on the front row. Michelle Walker on the outside, who got a bunch of attempts and a good bit of kills. She led the team in kills. And then Jessica Anderson in the middle. She was, all tournament she was doing well, clogging up the middle. Can you talk about their performance and their team as a whole?
Well, they're a very well coached team. They run most of the bulk of their offense out of Sarah Walker, and they use the other middle as a way to make them more available where we can't cheat on her. Sarah Walker just makes them go, and so she got hot. We just could not slow her down any. They're a very well coached team. They have one of the top liberos in the nation on their team as well. And so you put that together with a good setter that mixes the things up a little bit with those 2 hitters. It's going to be a tough game.
Now, Logan Talbert didn't lead that game in kills, but she had the highest hitting percentage. How important is it to get Logan Talbert going offensively?
Oh, it's big for us. She was a number 2 hitter last year for us. And coming back and then sticking her into that OBU game where she hadn't really got many touches because she hadn't really practiced with us since we were in Florida, and have her come back in and see glimpses of what she did last year is going to really help, because it's going to help open up our offense a little bit where teams can't cheat on our outsides or our right sides very much, and they have to respect our middles. And we know she can do it. She just got to get those reps and be able to continue that.
Now, moving into the next game, you played against host A&M Commerce, and I like to call this game Deja Vu OBU.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it went into 5 sets. This time we actually built a bigger lead. We were up 9-5 in the 5th set, and again we thought, well, this might be the one, And then A&M Commerce would score 10 in the next 11, 4 on blocks. Can you talk about the end of that game?
Well, we like doing using the old saying, "Ain't over till it's over." And when you play teams that are like Texas A&M Commerce, they're struggling with some injuries and other things, just like we were at the time. We just can't make mistakes. We got stuck in that one rotation that we couldn't get out of, and we've subbed. We did everything we could to get out of that rotation. They just got hot at the right time and caught us on the right rotation. But again, it's something where we need to learn to get out of, and we need to learn to focus through. It's OBU all over again, as you said. We just got to fight through that and try to do that. In fact, when we're in practice right now, we're doing Game 5 situations just to get prepared for that, because we've been there 3 times and we're getting the same results.
Now, Monji led with 15 kills in that game. We'll talk about her performance a little bit later, but it was, again, Talbert. She had 8 blocks that game, a career high. Can you talk about her effectiveness in the middle? And you just received her back for the OBU game.
Right.
So can you tell us about her impact on the defensive end as well?
Well, it's just like I said before, if she's going good, we're going to go good on offense as well as defense. Blocking-wise has always been, going back to last year, a thing that we really wanted to improve with her. And Coach Brittany, my assistant, has really worked with her exclusively on blocking, trying to get that up, and the results show for themselves. But it's really paying off. She has such a great weekend, not only in that game, but the whole weekend. And so we think it'll carry over into these other games.
Now, moving into the following day, you had Dallas Baptist, who was also a pretty good team to face. We fell in 3 sets, but they were all close sets. You scored 20, 20, and 21 in those 3 games. Now, maybe the difference may have been you guys had 6 reception errors and 6 service errors to Dallas Baptist's 2 apiece. Do you think that was ultimately the difference in the game?
Oh, unforced errors always will kill you. Whether we would have won that game or not, that's the reason why the games were so close. Unforced errors, I thought our offense was really starting to do pretty decent in that game. We just made some unforced errors at key times, and volleyball is such a game of momentum that they would take advantage of those errors and then capitalize on those errors with their serve. And that was basically the result of the game there.
Now, moving on to Texas Women's, another team who was receiving votes in the polls. Let's go straight to the 3rd set. You got down in a whole 0-2. But in the 3rd set, this team really showed you something. They went down 10-7, and then they made a 7-1 run. Is that the SAU team you'd like to see more consistently, I guess?
Oh, yes. That game, as well as one of the games in the Commerce game where we were down and came all the way back. The game in OBU where we came back. And that's the team that we want to achieve all the time, where we're playing at that level. That's the team that we know we've got. We just got to do it all the time. I'm really proud of them not giving up and really fighting that way, but I'd like to get some wins and keep it going that way, where we're actually leading on that rather than playing catch-up.
Now, you matched Texas Women's with 10 blocks apiece. Manji and McNee each had 5 assisted to contribute to half of those kills. They're both known as offensive players, but how important is it for them to also play well on the defensive end?
It's very important because it helps our defense out. It makes teams second guess themselves rather than just going up and swinging. Now they have to think about, do I roll shot, do I tip? And our defense then can do their job and cover the areas that the block is not covering, as well as get ready for those tips. Anytime a team wants to tip a roll shot to us, we want to turn that into like a free ball so we can run our offense out of it.
Now let's recap the tournament a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get a win in the tournament, but the last 3 games of the tournament, you went with 3 different starting lineups. How close do you feel to finding that right rotation with this team?
I think we're getting really close. The key thing is the reason why we've done different lineups has not been the defensive part of it, it's been the offensive part of it. We've been trying to find that right niche. We've got 2 new setters that are trying to connect with our hitters, and we're just trying to find the right spots for all our hitters to where we can get multiple swings in, because defenses are getting too predictable on what we're going to do. They know what we're going to do. We want to mix it up to where we get that right mix to where defenses can't cheat on us when we play.
Now let's talk about Hannah Rice for a minute. Let's give her credit. She's 14th in the nation, 1st in the conference in total digs. She had over 100 digs in 5 matches last week, over 5 digs per set. What can you say about her performance, and what do you see from your converted libero going forward?
Well, I'm just really proud of her. We didn't know who was going to be our libero. We had 3 different options there, and she was one of those options. And she just outright won it out of preseason. And it's not easy changing positions, especially going from an offensive top position to a defensive top position. But she has the skill set. She's not scared of anything. You can hit her in the face, and she won't even blink. And that's what that mentality has to be for a libero. A fearless attitude. She just took it head on. She tries hard. She asks lots of questions. She's talked to our former libero, Lauren Woods, a lot. That's really helped her out there. And I'm just really proud of her just stepping up to the plate and doing the best she can do, and the results are showing for itself.
Now, you talk about stepping up to the plate. Can you talk about her leadership back there? Because I know you have to have a lot of communication between the libero and the other players. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, coming from being a setter, so she's used to being the leader there, so that kind of helped a little bit. But again, she was looking at, I'm the new guy here, and then now I think she's gradually grabbed hold of that and is taking more charge. She's talking to our middles a lot. This is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to channel the ball to. So, or this is what she'll even help on the offensive side where this is what I see open, because she's back there and she sees the whole court. So she's really stepping up and getting more comfortable, and I think that will increase as the season goes along.
Now tomorrow you have your first conference road match at Harding. Again, no easy task. No. They actually lead the conference in digs per set. Do you expect a real defensive game from them?
Oh, always with them. They are one of those teams that every team has a niche or way they play, and theirs is they don't make mistakes. They're going to keep the ball in play. They're going to play hardcore defense. They've got the hitters to do that. They will do a really good job of mixing the sets up, which is going to cause problems for our defense. and do a really good job when you hit the ball at them, that they're not going to make the mistake there. They're going to try to get the ball and play as much for not only will they help hurt you, but they can also have you hurt yourself because their defense is so good.
Now, moving in tomorrow, what aspect of SAU's game do you think really has to show up in order to pull out a win?
I think our offense needs to continue to get better. That's why we've used those 3 lines you talked about earlier. We're trying to find that niche. I think we need to be more explosive with our offense. Defense, I'm very proud of our defense. We've made some tweaks and things to kind of get ready for them. But I feel that offensively, not only with the attack, but also with the serve, we need to put more pressure on them to keep them where they're not so comfortable on that defense. We want that defense to have to move a little bit, because if you're hitting right at them, they're just going to take it as an easy play and then convert on that.
Now, moving into the weekend, your team has a doubleheader Saturday in San Antonio. The real question I have for you is your team tired of going on the road yet?
No. Well, we like to say the real road warriors. Now, we always love the W.T. Watson Center and the crowd that we have there. But I like going on the road and getting a feel, because we want to play good teams. And a lot of the way you're going to play those teams, you got to go to them. Over a period of time, hopefully we can get them to come to us. And that's what we're hoping to eventually do. Now, the 8-hour trip down there they might not like, but we're trying to play, region teams. I played a tougher schedule, and when you do that, you just got to go on the road. And, St. Mary's has been a very good team over the past few years. Texas International I haven't played them very much, but they're also an opponent that we think we can play with. So we're looking forward to it. Another non-conference type setup to get us ready for the next week. We play Monticello, so we're looking forward as a way to get better.
Now, St. Mary's, you played them once in 2010, once in 2012. You lost both matches. So what is it going to take for you to get over that hump, finally get that W against St. Mary's, and ultimately pull away with 2 wins in San Antonio this weekend?
Well, St. Mary's is really similar to OBU and Harding in that they are really known for their defense. They have a libero there that we recruited and really thought we had a chance of getting, but she decided to go to St. Mary's, and I believe she's number 4 in the nation in digs. So basically we want to stay away from her. But they've been known for their defense. Offensively, we've managed to be kind of equal with them. The defensive part, those unforced errors you mentioned earlier, we got to stay away from those to play against them. And those 2 times we lost them, it was who was going to make the least amount of mistakes. That was the name of the game, and I think it'll be that way this time too.
All right, you heard it here first from head volleyball coach Steven Gream. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. at Harding. This weekend, a doubleheader in San Antonio at St. Mary's, 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Thanks again for joining us, and thanks again, Coach.
Yes, sir.